Hi everyone, in today's video I just want to make a really short one discussing the LastPass security issues and how I hope that this will improve things for the next year going forward. Hi everyone, my name is Robert Mizen and I make videos on beep stuff. In this video it's really just going to be a short one giving my opinion on the LastPass. Let's call it a disaster because it is. The fact that the company is still around is honestly quite shocking to me. It is what it is, but this is the third major hack that I'm aware of, a security breach that's happened at LastPass in the last few years. There could have been more, but as far as newsworthy that's come out, and whilst it would be really easy to rail on LastPass as a company for what's clearly a structural problem within the company in terms of the design and implementation of security policies, I'm not going to do that in this video. What I am going to do is I'm going to discuss the wider implications of centralizing such services. I'm going to put it out there, centralizing very sensitive information like passwords in one place and bunching them with a bunch of other people who also centralize it in one place, i.e. in the hands of a company, is a really bad idea. I could use more colorful words to describe it, but it's just a really bad idea from a security and ethical perspective. If you're a hacker, attacking one person doesn't yield that much reward. However, if you can get into a company like LastPass, for example, and you can get access to the hundreds of thousands of accounts that use it, that is a treasure chest that is waiting to be cracked open. Now, services like LastPass, there is many others out there also. They offer a service which is to allow you to store your passwords in a centralized way, where you have a little password manager that's very user-friendly. That's good. That part of it is what you want. Not just LastPass, but the others that exist out there. However, centralizing all of those passwords and algorithms and the cryptography that secures the vaults, as they call them, in one place is a really bad idea. My hope, my cheerful message for 2023 is that I will hope that open source FOSS software, federated software, and software and services that is more open to public scrutiny and accountability will become the norm. My hope from the bad things that have happened to LastPass in the recent days is that better things come forward in the terms of user behavior. Having this kind of system like LastPass centralizing that, if we see more of that, we're just really running into not a matter of if, but when another hack happens. And when you've looked at the recent takeovers by Elon Musk of Twitter, for example, when you have very big platforms like Twitter being controlled by very few people or one person, or where you have important information being centralized in the place of another, you can see the kinds of decisions that happen that affect lots of people without much accountability. And for me, that is a problem. Now, it's no secret that I am a very big proponent of privacy and rights of the individual. And for me, if you can self-host the service, you should. Now, LastPass offers something which is good, but its implementation is not. Now, there are other services out there like Bitwarden. Bitwarden is a open source version of something like LastPass. Now, they also do offer a centralized version of the software. However, they also importantly allow you to self-host. And if you can self-host it, then it means that your group, so if I was self-hosting it, so me and say my family, that's a few accounts. Now we could self-host that on our own hardware, and that's behind our own firewall, our own VPN tunnels, our own reverse proxies. If someone, a hacker, was able to get past firstly discover that you use Bitwarden, then get past your security protocols for your external system. So we're talking about your tunnel, your VPN tunnels, whatever you're using for that, or your reverse proxies. Then get behind your firewall, then crack into your Bitwarden server and get access to your vaults that are in there to then start decrypting them. If that was to happen, then that is me and my family exposed, but importantly, no one else. And this is where the big benefit of federated decentralized type of services work, because in the case of LastPass, once they got in through the main public security systems and they were able to get hold of their accounts, then they got the accounts of hundreds of thousands of people, and that is where the problem occurs, because once they're behind the gate, they have access to a lot, and there is a huge problem. Now, if more people were to self-host Bitwarden and host their own services, now I understand that not everyone can do this, but if you can, it would be a major benefit to your security. And the really good thing about that is, if I had a friend who hosted Bitwarden, they would have a separate firewall, a separate VPN, a separate reverse proxy, or however they decide to access this service remotely. And that doesn't affect me at all if someone hacks into them, right? Because I have a separate VPN and a separate reverse proxy and a separate access service to get into my Bitwarden services when I'm outside my network. And this is where the strength of federated, decentralized services work. So my hope for 2022 is we see a rise of awareness to federated, decentralized services and software, where we're not putting all of our eggs in the hands of one company or one person, and that we can see the strength in trying to democratize services and software in general, because I hate to see this kind of stuff happen, but it's not a surprise to me. The surprise is that as a lot of customers still were at LastPass, even after, despite previous breaks and hacks and leaks that they've had. That company should have been dead quite a long time ago. And if they're not dead after this, I will be shocked at the level of stupidity of those who still use a service like that, despite the fact that they clearly have shown not capable of securing the things that they should be securing. There's probably a lot of really great people who work there. They will find work in other companies, but structurally there's a problem there that needs to be solved, and I don't really think that any kind of work will allow them to regain a lot of customers. I think a lot of people will move, but moving to another centralized LastPass type of system won't help you. You should move to something that's more self-hosted, or something open source, or at least something accountable if you possibly can. So that's my cheery message for 2023. I hope that you all have a good one. I just want to thank you all for the support that I got in the previous year. I actually hit 1,000 subscribers. That's just, for me, a great milestone. So again, thank you all for the support. I hope you had a great year, and I hope that 2023 will continue to grow and continue to be better for all of us. And I will see you next year.